Everything in the universe rapidly erupted from a small, hot, dense state roughly 13.7 billion years ago. And no one's ever found any data to contradict the Big Bang.
All of the matter in the universe was condensed into an infinitely dense hot point of dust.
Matt, I don't know if you're getting more stupid as you get older or if you just don't care how blatantly you lie anymore. Hello everyone and welcome back to The Simple Skeptic. Please hit the subscribe button if you haven't done so already. Hit that little bell, you'll be notified every time a new video comes out. And hit the like or unlike. I can't tell you what to do, but a like would be preferred. Share it with your friends too. Matt Powell, we've run into many times before. The guy is a blatant liar, but it seems that he's getting worse. Not only does he refuse to understand evolution, but he is actively lying about it even more than he did before. See if you can notice the little bit right here.
Everything in the universe rapidly erupted from a small, hot, dense state.
All of the matter in the universe was condensed into an infinitely dense hot point of dust.
Did you catch that? Aron Ra said everything, which at that time was mostly energy, or all energy. Matt seems to think that it was dust, or he wants you to think it was dust. He knows he's lying because this is so stupid, so outlandish that there's no way he could not know that he's lying. He's trying to tell you it was dust. Let's watch this, the next bit.
Okay, so how long, let me ask you this, how long would it take a piece of dust to explode and then morph into a large rock as big as a boulder? Is that physically possible?
Well, it would take no time at all because it wouldn't happen. It's impossible. That is not what happened. Dust did not explode and turn into big rocks. Matt, I can't believe how blatantly you lie.
Is it physically possible for a tiny piece of dust? Think of how huge of a lie this is.
Oh, I don't think that's the lie, Matt. We know what the lie is, but it wasn't that.
A tiny piece of dust to explode and then morph into rocks as large as the planets and as Earth? What a humongous lie.
You mean the one you're telling? Does Matt honestly think that people are going to believe that? The simps in his audience might, but I really don't think that anyone with any sense, anyone who knows the slightest bit about cosmology, cosmogony, anything about astrophysics, even a high school level of understanding, they're not going to accept that. It's just stupid and it's a lie.
Let me ask you this. Could you take a piece of dust and convert it to water?
No. And you know that. No, Matt, and this has been explained to you so many times and you already know it. There was no matter at the start of the universe. It was energy. That energy became subatomic particles, which became atomic particles, which became molecules, which gradually coalesced into larger units. Stars and planets formed from the molecules that came from atomic particles, subatomic particles, back to the energy that was released at the Big Bang. It's not hard to understand, Matt. Yeah, the actual heavy physics and mathematics may be hard to understand. I don't even have well, I shouldn't say I don't even. I'm a dummy. I don't have a grasp of it. But the evidence is there, Matt. The universe started with energy, not with dust. But you refuse to understand that. And worse, you lie to people about it. You're a blatant, barefaced liar.
Or are you not in fact a chronic and habitual liar?
Let's really think about this. Let's break down the Big Bang Theory. They claim that a piece of dust, an infinitely dense hot point, exploded. Well, number one, if you have something exploding, it's only going to release smaller pieces of what exploded. It's not going to release larger pieces and create things. It's only going to destroy. But not only that, they believe, and they will assert, that this piece of dust somehow created oceans, water, all of the elements on the periodic table. It's just ludicrous. It is false. It's not true. They think that gold and silver, diamonds, all came from a speck of dust that exploded. Some gigantic lies here.
Once again, showing your complete and total ignorance of anything. Gold and silver are forged in the hearts of stars. Thermonuclear fusion at the core forms them. Diamonds are a geological process. That is carbon. It's an allotropy of carbon. It's a form of carbon. And that is caused by intense pressure within the Earth. It is not a stellar process. Never has been. Never will be. Matt, you're a liar and an idiot.
Let me ask you, could a piece of dust start a fire?
If it's hot enough, yes.
I can hardly start a fire in the woods with some thick logs.
But that's because you're an idiot.
You have to have some knowledge as to how to start a fire, and it takes energy to be able to start that fire. Let me ask you, could dust, an infinitely dense hot point, explode and create nuclear fusion? Is that physically possible?
No, it isn't physically possible. And you know that. Can't happen.
It is not possible. Let me tell you, the Big Bang never happened.
And no one's ever found any data to contradict the Big Bang. There's no indication that any intelligent agent even could have been involved in any of this. And remember that the sacred fables don't have a lot of credibility, being absolutely wrong about absolutely everything they claim that can be tested.
Preach it, Aron. You got it.
Even if the Big Bang happened, that would still mean that there's a creator, because how could you take an explosion of nothingness and create something so magnificent out of it, such as stars, planets, galaxies, oceans? How is that physically possible? The Big Bang, even if it did happen, would prove that there is a God.
How, Matt? How would it prove there's a God? We eagerly await your scientific paper proving that.
Regardless. So even if atheists are correct about the Big Bang, they're still wrong. Even if they're correct that the Big Bang happened, they're still wrong. Are you guys following me so far?
Oh, we're following you. And we're laughing all the time.
It's surprising to me that you, Matt Powell, would dedicate your life to lies with a belief system that is entirely fraudulent, such that you could hold up a compilation of lies and call that truth, and dismiss every actual factual truth as though they were lies.
Before the Big Bang, there was nothing, literally nothing. And then something happened, triggering the most colossal explosion in history. In a billionth of a billionth of a billionth of a second, the universe grew from the size of that tiny point to something billions of miles across. This colossal blast created everything, all the matter we see in the universe today.
Do you really believe that something came from nothing?
Yes.
So you found an old National Geographic video which said the universe comes from nothing, which most astrophysicists do not believe anymore, although some may still do so, and if they are correct, science will show that. You also managed to find a quote from Dan Barker, the president of the Freedom from Religion Foundation, and an atheist, but Dan Barker is not an astrophysicist. Dan Barker used to be a minister. And he gave up religion a long time ago. He is not, however, an astrophysicist. Okay? He is simply quoting some popular things that were floating around years ago about astrophysics that have now been shown to be incorrect. And as I said, if the universe really did come from nothing, well, that's going to be a scientific explanation, not a God.
We didn't come from nothing, and no scientist believes that we ever came from absolutely nothing.
Do you really believe that something came from nothing?
Yes.
And here you juxtapose a quote from Aron with the same video again, trying to imply that Dan Barker is a scientist. No, he is not. He's a great guy, but he's not a scientist.
The Big Bang is not something from nothing.
Before the Big Bang, there was nothing, literally nothing.
Matter, energy, universal forces, natural laws, and even empty space and time began at that point.
You did it again. Yep. Quote mining and juxtaposing those quotes in order to lie. Because, well, you're a liar, Matt. A bare-faced liar.
Is it physically possible for a tiny piece of dust, think of how huge of a lie this is, a tiny piece of dust to explode and then morph into rocks as large as the planets and as Earth? What a humongous lie. Let me ask you this, could you take a piece of dust and convert it to water?
No one's ever found any data to contradict the Big Bang.
As I've often said, Matt, you're the gift that keeps on giving. But please, stop giving. You're just an idiot. Now, as I always do at the end of these videos, I'm going to post a little stupid comment from a creationist or maybe somebody else to show that we really need some better education in this world. Have a nice day, folks.